Hello world, my name is Lizzievampy and this is going to be my first video ever on YouTube. It's going to be a speed painting one, so I hope you're really enjoying it. Talking about a little about this channel. This is going to be a channel about digital painting stuff, design, and gaming because I love games. And I love art, so I hope really you stick around and watch some of my videos. So let's get into it. So for my first ever video on my YouTube channel, I'm gonna do a portrait, a 3D model portrait of a character from a video game. I'm so dumb. But I'm going to try to do in 4 days. And you got like probably thinking, if you're gonna do like an almost realistic portrait, you will not be able like to sleep, eat, having a life, friends. Probably that's right. But I'm trying to understand which is my limits of painting, and this is a good opportunity. And actually, this is for a project that I need to make for my professor. So let's get into it. So this is the character I'm going to paint. Her name is Rose Marigold. She's a supportive character from the franchise Alan Wake. And this image is specific is from the game Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. About the difficulties that I'm gonna have in this project, I think will be the hair, the skin, and the teeth because they are more complex. And I think the most easiest will be the eye, the clothes, and the ear. So this is some tools that I'm going to use on Photoshop for this painting. It's going to be the smudge tool, the brush tool, the resin tool, paint bucket tool, magic tool, polygon lasso tool, eyedropper tool. So for the smudge tool, I'm going to use it for basically to make the skin, the colors of the skin more fluid, for them to mix them. Okay. The brush tool is going to be the tool that I'm going to use it all the time. Basically for all of this work. The eraser tool is going to be sometimes essential because sometimes they're going to I want to do specific opacities and gradients, and using the eraser tool sometimes on the edges of that shades, it's going to help me to do that. The paint bucket tool is going to be essential for the initial part of the work. Is that it's this one I'm going to use to put the main colors on the areas that I'm going to put they're going to paint. The magic tool and the polygon lasso tool is going to be essential for this work because I need some good selection tools. Okay, and this is going to be the ones that are going to use probably almost all the time. And the eyedropper tool is going to be the one that I'm going to pick the color from my reference to my painting, because some people do like try to do the most close color to the main reference, but I'm not good at it. So I'm just gonna use the eyedropper tool to pick the color of my reference and use that color directly on my painting. I'm showing this to let you explain that this is gonna where I'm going to pick the colors from this drawing. So in here, as you can see, I'm selecting the main areas on my sketch, and putting just the base colors on it. Okay, I try in the beginning doing like
the main colors close to my drawing, but it was a terrible mistake. So I decided really just to pick the colors directly on my reference. As you can see, I'm painting like an oil painting. I'm doing 4 in layers each time. Okay. In here, I'm working on the neck and doing the all over the same process, layer with each layer up and trying to make sense of it. But and then I'm going to use this smudge tool to be a little more consistent and to be more fluid. In here, I'm working in the nose. I love doing noses. I don't know why. It's something. Noses and eyes. I love to do them, and lips too. I have something about that area of the face when I'm doing portraits. For my characters or for realistic ones. As you can see here, I'm using the smudge tool. It was an essential tool for me to make the skin have a realistic appearance, because I tried to do just layer and each layer painting, uh, but I wasn't able to do it with the result that I wanted. So I used the smudge tool, and I try not to use it too much, because when you use too much the smudge tool, it makes a little more like blur on the edges, and even the face turns like a little blur, and I don't like that effect at all. So that was the plan that I did it for the skin. And now I'm doing the eyes. I'm doing the base for the eyes. And yes, I need to do every single eyelash, because I tried to do a little more simplificate, but it didn't work, and I didn't like really the result. So doing every single eyelash, as you can see, and then to put some of them with a little more with a color, with specific color, etc., because I wasn't able to do the result that I wanted, so I decided to do in the hardest way. As you can see, I'm doing here the eyebrow. I did the base. Once again I tried to do in the simplest way possible, but no. I need to do every single air of it, and to do every single air of it with a different color too. As you can see, The one that is more close to the nose, I need to put um, a lighter color because of the light of the portrait. And the more time that I'm going like to the right side of the eyebrow, I need to do more darker colors for every each area of it. So yeah. It was a really difficult process. I thought it gonna be more easy, but it really took me a lot of time in this part, because then in the edges of each air I need to do it, and then it was where I use it a little of the eraser to make it more natural, you know. And yeah, but I think it did really work. It did really good work well. So and now for the next eye. So this was such a this was ah such a pain, because the perspective, I was working on this eye and the perspective wasn't working at all. I do it so many times, this eye in just in his left side, because sometimes it looks look it to me really circle, and there's a part of the eye of the reference that it's straight on that point, and I couldn't do it like the appearance of it. So I think in the end of the day, I did the job. So, but yes, as you can see, it happened is where I started to understand that I used too much the smudge tool, because you can see the eye is start to be like blur, and this, it was not my objective. So later on you're gonna understand that I need to do some solid colors on it to have a more consistent appearance and less blurry. So I'm doing a little a part of the lights and the dark on the ears. But even so, I love doing eyes. I have something with eyes, because you can catch so many colors in it, and do so many things, and it's so special. The lights and the shadows of it, the colors that the lights create, the effects. It's so cool. And yes, I'm talking like a little nerd. Yeah, and I don't care, but it's the way that I feel. That I feel like. When I do the eyes and the lips, is like something, whoa, it's so many reflections, and people who like really to paint, you can understand what I'm saying. But it's really a funny part to do for me. This another eyebrow, I need to do something to make me understand that I was doing the perspective of this eyebrow like good, because I was afraid to do a little more up, and then she have a strange look in it. And later on, I need to put more air on the eyebrow, to make it appear a little more compelling. Because even doing the size of it, and and doing the specific the place on it, even so, I need to put more air more close to the eye, to make it less appear that is up the eyebrow, even with the sizes. Okay, so yeah, but this doesn't was a really hard thing to do. So the teeth. So the original reference, there was something wrong about it in the part of the mouth, because the people who take the screenshot, it take in the time that she was talking, and the perspective of the teeth were wrong because they were moved, because the mouth was moving. So when I was doing the teeth, I realized it and tried to do the right perspective, but it didn't work well, and this was horrible. I passed so much time on it.
One eternity later.
Many hours later, I think this was a part of my drawing that I passed much more hours. Yeah, it's stupid, but this is the truth, guys. I freaking decided to do with the mistake, because doing with the perspective, it was just appear like bunny teeth, so it was making the portrait really really ugly. So I decided to do with the mistake, and doing with the mistake was freaking difficult because it's something that doesn't make any sense, and you can see my frustration, like just being crazy on the drawing, and I just decided to do with the mistake, and was difficult because it doesn't make any sense. It, for me, doesn't have logic. It kind of makes really hard for me, and doing with the mistake and doing like layer after layer of paint, it was really a nightmare, but it worked out. It works, and it works, and it is okay. Perfect. Perfect. And then accept that issue, and in the end it worked really well. So that's that is what it matters. But if I knew, if that have that mistake, I wouldn't choose that photo. But oh well, it is what it is. Actually, the air was really fun to do. I start to do um, layers of color on it, and then to do the more specific parts. The more specific parts was the one that was much closer to the ear, because there was that had more colors on it, and it was really fun to do it. I needed to do the heads for understand were the limits of the air, and then I started to do the lights, and I really enjoyed to doing this. And she has such a beautiful hair, and the colors on it, and when you're doing like realistic portrait like this one, you understand how many colors your hair can have. It's not just like blonde hair or brown hair or red hair. It's it's the mix of colors that create that main color, and I think it's just pretty cool. And of course, when you are uh, seeing your reference and you start to put colors on your drawing too, and you start to say, oh my god, this is so dark, what the heck, this is wrong. Don't worry, just trust the process and just paint, because our eyes have some optic illusion, and sometimes something can be like not a color can be not so much darker because it is mixed with other colors, and you think, no, this cannot be so much darker, this is wrong, because of course then I'm picking the color to my reference. And then I'm putting the color on the place, and I'm like watching that and saying, no, this is wrong. But it's not, guys. Just trust the process. It is just illusion on our eyes, and sometimes don't trust in your eyes. It's kind of sucks, but don't trust, because just trust the colors and make the form, and just chill. Is the best advice I can say to you. It's like, oh my god, this is so wrong, but just be chill and trust the process. So after the air done, I started to do the ear, and as you can see, I did it pretty fast. It was pretty fun. It was really cool. I I do the final stuff, and then I start to paint the earring. I love to doing and paint metal stuff, okay? Metal forms, objects, because they are so fun. They have so light and shadows and different colors on it, and it's so cool. Sometimes in such a small place, you can have so much layers of colors of different um, so much layers of different colors, and it's so much fun to do. And the lights, man, I love to doing the lights on the metal objects, and I really loved doing this part. going to the outfit, and it was really cool. I once again I start to have that issue like of colors of okay, this sounds so much darker. Is this right? But again, I start to listen to music, drink some water, and say, okay, let's go. Let's just chill and accept this. And I start to do layer colors, and it was a really good experience. And I think it worked pretty well. When I was doing this, I thought, okay, maybe I'm gonna do this smudge tool on this to be more fluid. But then, when I start to work on it, I start to understand that even this kind of texture, it pretty work really well because it appears like texture of the fabric. And I think no, it's gonna be like this. It's perfect, and I let it be. And then I start to do the other parts and I decided to do the first the right side and then the left side because for me it worked in a way more easy for me because then I'm not doing the all on the rose parts of it. I'm working okay, first the right and then I'm gonna pass the left. For me it worked pretty well this way. It's like I have a plan, because I think if I will do everything in the same time, I think I will be pretty lost when I was putting the colors and mix them and etc. And then really in a part of the layers too. So So this is the final result, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more of my paintings, follow me on Instagram, and thanks so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Kissu kissu.